So I just got my Melo 12s in the mail and I had to give you guys a review because these have a rich history, and I knew for a fact when I saw these retroing, I had to add these to my collection. So as you can see right here, you have your classic OG style Air Jordan 12 box, which kind of doesn't make sense because back in 2004 when the original Melo 12s came out, which they were kind of slated that, which we'll talk about that in the history segment, but they came with the face box. And I'm going to give you guys an example with this Flint Gray Air Jordan 12 just so we can compare materials and things a little bit later. But besides all that, this does resemble the original box from back in the 90s. So you got your brown top, your black Nike swoosh on the center of the lid, your Just Do It branding right here with the orange wrapping it around and the Nike branding, and then over here you're gonna have some text on the side of the box that reads engineered and built to the exact specifications of championship athletes from around the world. The size tag reads Air Jordan 12 Retro White University Blue, size 13, just for me. And retail just recently went up the other day. We can have a conversation about that in another video. Now flipping these open, you're gonna have your all brown paper that come along with the shoes, and additionally you're gonna have some white paper in the middle of that as well, as you can see right here. And peeling that back, you got the shoe. Oh, you got the shoe. Oh yeah, and if you didn't know by now, my name is DJ and this is the DNA Show. Now before we get to breaking down this shoe and really seeing if it meets the test when it comes to the quality and everything like that, you know we got to talk about the history first. Back in 1997, the Air Jordan 12 hit the streets and the basketball court in 5 different colorways. You had the white and red, the white and black, the black and red, the black and white, and the obsidian and white. The original 4 Bulls colors in particular have become very iconic and sought after models over all the years every time we see retros. And obviously everybody remembers the flu game and the recent release that just came out a few months ago. During this time, Jordan Brand was in the process of becoming its own entity as well, and they ended up signing a bunch of athletes a part of Team Jordan, and one iconic player that everybody remembers, which potentially has some of the greatest Jordan Brand PEs ever, Ray Allen. And after that original class of players that had came in, there was another wave of players coming in the early 2000s, and Carmelo happened to be a part of that group. Although this is a great colorway for the University of North Carolina, and we definitely saw athletes wearing these on court as well during that time, Carmelo also wore these because it was a part of his team colors. Now I'm gonna pop up some images for you guys real quick so you can see all the pairs, and this is not even all of them, but this is a good handful of them. I vividly remember watching him wear these on court and going after these and collecting these back then in the early 2000s. And because of that and all the iconic moments that were happening on and off the court with Carmelo, this had easily become slated as the Melo 12s. And you got to remember, during the early 2000s, a lot of shoes didn't really have nicknames to them, and the Jordan Brand wasn't really nicknaming the sneakers. It was the sneakerheads and the culture that started to do that over the years. And the Melo 2 had came out during this time as well, which was definitely slated as his sneaker, but technically wasn't because it wasn't the PE version like how he had. But either way, we all love these, and I miss my pairs so much because that was a beautiful shoe. I don't personally like the retro as much. The original was so much nicer, but now that obviously they're not wearable, I feel like I gotta go after the retro just because that's all I can get these days. Unless they decide to retro them again. At this point, nothing's safe. You seen the Tokyo 5s? But anyways, back on topic. During this time, there were a ton of player edition Air Jordan 12s coming out. As you can see, here's one of my old posts from Instagram back in the day. I had a bunch of pairs in my collection as well. And then obviously the other pairs that you see with Rip Hamilton and all these other guys. It was so cool to see all these Air Jordan 12 PEs emerging amongst the scene. And not to mention all the dope additional colorways as well, like the Nubuck 12s. Back in the day, if you had these and the Nubuck 12s as a set, like that was just the craziest thing to have. It was so dope. And after that, it's taken 20 plus years for us to get this new retro version here. And there was a slight little blip of a retro with a, I think it was a women's or a kid's size or something like that back in like 2016. I was kind of shocked because I was like, they're retro the Melo 12s, but they're not giving them in a full size run. What's going on here? Like, we need that. Today's partner is Sneaker Throne. They have multiple options when it comes to durable and high quality display cases. One of my personal favorites is the drop side display case. I'm a size 13 and I can easily fit my shoes inside of here, and I have hundreds of these stacked throughout my rooms to display my sneakers. When it comes to the cases in particular, you have 4 different color options: clear, black, white, and red. So if you're looking at grabbing one of these for yourself or for someone else, make sure you guys check out sneakerthrone.com, and don't forget to use the discount code DNA Show at checkout for 10% off for all your orders. But now in 2025, I can finally say again, Oh, we got the shoe. So I used to have the original pair and I kind of tore mine up back in high school, so I got rid of them way back in the day, but I still have my Flints in my collection. So again, we will be doing some comparisons of these Flint grade 12s to these a little bit later, just so you guys can kind of see the quality differences. So what we're gonna do first is start with the outsole. As you can see from the bottom right here, you have your all over university blue. You have your white herringbone pods right here on the front and the back end. Another dope classic hit that I love with the Jordan 12s. You have your white Jumpman with the ball right here on the front of the toe, and then the 23 branding right here with the small black triangle. And then going to the center of the foot, similar to the Air Jordan 11 with a little bit of an upgrade. Same thing here, you have your carbon fiber plate, and I love how this one has that dope texture and element to it with the baby blue and black. Now wrapping up to the midsole, when you look at the shoe from the side profile, you see that university blue. In my opinion, again, I don't have them in hand, but just from my memory, I feel like the blue isn't as vibrant on the original pair compared to these. I feel like the blue pops more. Like, continuing on with that, you have your textured white fight line right here, and then the same thing right here on the back end around the heel area. Your TPU Jumpman branded patch right here on the side end of the foot, and same thing on the inside of the foot, and then your textured leather here on the outside with the mud guard, and the same thing here on the inside with the mud guard wrapping to the center of the foot. Now when I feel the materials on this textured leather, honestly, it does feel kind of stiff. I can't say it feels like the best or the worst. I don't know, it's just like, it's cool. But when I go to the actual toe box of the shoe and feel the leathers on this area and on the back end around the ankle, see how soft it is, how plush it is, I can say this is solid. This is better than the older releases, but I'm not sure if this is top tier compared to all the other ones. What I'm gonna do though, real quick, check these out. Hey, real quick, just wanted to let you guys know we're getting really close to 400,000 subscribers, so I need you guys to hit that subscribe button right now. Take a quick second to do that, and also run up the likes for me. Help it get to 1,000 likes on the video as well. Now let's go ahead and get back to it. And oh yeah, my bad. Just so you know, when we get to 400K, I got a big giveaway coming, so make sure you guys subscribe. Check these out. Now, with these, it's kind of stiff, yes, but you can feel it. It's a lot more soft. It has a lot more give. It's got a lot more bend to it. You can see that natural creasing, and just hopefully you guys can see some of that close up looking at that leather here and then here. Hopefully you guys can kind of see the differences of what I'm saying. Notice this leather, boom and boom. I don't know if you guys can see it, but hopefully you can. There's definitely a difference, I would say, just in the thickness. Actually, man, this side mudguard area on this pair is a lot softer as well, not as stiff, nearly as stiff compared to this new retro. So again, this may be something that people don't really care about, but I know a lot of people like to compare the quality of the materials and everything like that to the previous pairs from the past to see if they're still on par or on track to what they've done in the previous years. Now these come standard with a pair of all white rope laces, classic to the Air Jordan 12, and then also another dope hit right here. You have the 2 and then the 3 right here in a numeral number, and then 2 spelled out in the center of the tongue and that university blue text, and then the university blue Jumpman right here in the center of the tongue at the top end. And then on the back end, on the inside of the collar, you're gonna have that baby blue, university blue, same material all throughout. And then on the sock liner right here, actually these come with a university blue sock liner with a white Jumpman, and I'm pretty sure on the previous original it was a white sock liner with a blue Jumpman. Also, when I pulled these out, I thought this was a polyurethane, and then I realized it's actually a dream cell. So again, not the best, not the worst, but it's better than those cheap blue insoles. Now going to the back end of the shoe right here, another classic iconic hit that I love with the Air Jordan 12. You have your 23 right here in the rubber and the all white, and then on the pull tab in this fabric, as you can see, it spells something out. So it says Jordan in all black, and then it says quality inspired by the greatest player ever, and then you have a gray border around it, and then another gray patch with the black Jumpman in the center. Now you guys remember on the Air Jordan 11 you had that same type of branding and text on the back end of the tongue. Well, now they kind of took that same inspiration and then also added it to the back end of the shoe. And then also, if you guys remember, during this time, again, Jordan Brand was becoming its own entity. They were adding team players to the mix, they were sponsoring schools, so we saw a lot of this type of branding on the Jordan team shoes as well, not the actual retro retro models or the OG colorways or whatever you like to call those. Also, before I forget, these 12s came with a retro card back in the day, and the current pair did not. I'm gonna continue to campaign for the retro card, especially on a colorway that is being brought back. We gotta get the retro card. And on the OGs, 100% we need the retro card. But besides all that, I love to do the polls on my Instagram and see if people like the shoe or not. So I just have some simple question. Is the shoe fire or is the shoe trash? This is what they said. 74% of the people chose fire and 26% of the people chose trash. Now this is an indicator typically on this type of range. That means a lot of people like the shoe, and obviously yes, that's a majority, we get that. But it's one of those type of percentages that means that's a shoe that typically sits on the shelves for a while, and the people that like the shoe get the shoe, or they catch it on sale, or they buy a used pair down the line, and everybody gets it and they appreciate it. And it doesn't typically become a sneaker that has some type of crazy monetary value down the line, but you know, it might go up a little bit, but it may not be anything wild. Let me know how you guys feel down below in the comment section. Hope you guys enjoy this, and again, I have a bunch of reviews and tutorials and all the other things. If you made it this far into the video and you have not subscribed, please hit that subscribe button. We are very close to 400,000 subscribers, and I can't wait to do this giveaway. All right, you guys, I'm out.
I would never let you down, it's in my DNA. The only choice I like to make, what I'ma wear today. I would never let you down, it's in my DNA. The only choice I like to make, what I'ma wear today. I was made for it, it's in the DNA.